As India's economy races ahead, the Indian working population is taking a hit with worsening mental health each day. Many Indian employees are now becoming the victim of anxiety, depression, and even isolation. Take a look at this next report to find out more.
More than 60% of Indian employees notice their co-workers are stressed out, and more than half of them log off of work feeling weary. That's what the latest Asian Mental Health Index states. In addition, the index created after polling 13,000 workers in 12 Asian countries notes that over 43% of India's working population is either nervous, depressed, or isolated. The Mental Health Index score for India is 64, indicating that the mental health of employees there is strained despite being 1.6 points higher than the median. This is what the survey stated. Over half of Indians, or 53% of them, are unable to work efficiently because of their mental health. Additionally, more than 45% of respondents claim that it is harder for them to focus at work than it was last year. India is one of the countries with the largest percentage of workers who have productivity issues. Low employee engagement, absenteeism, and presenteeism, and higher turnover rates can all be caused by mental health issues. According to estimates, the world economy loses $1 trillion annually due to the most common mental health problems such as sadness and anxiety. The working age population in Asian countries is not just concerned about burnout and tiredness due to their jobs. Other factors may include cost of living challenges, rising healthcare costs, climate change impacts, geopolitical instability, and the increasingly complex and ambiguous nature of today's workplace, which has been changing rapidly since COVID-19, the paper states. According to a poll of Indians, 33% indicated they have an emergency fund that can last for more than 3 months worth of living expenses, while a comparable number said they can get by for another 2 months. While 21% plan to start one this year, 8% of people think they can get by without one by using credit. Employees without emergency savings are 60% more likely to find it difficult to focus on their work than those who do. According to the survey, making these funds a critical component in determining workplace productivity. Another important finding of the study is that older workers have better mental health. Employees under the age of 40 are particularly affected by poor mental health. The 20 to 29 age group, with a mental health index score of 57.8, is much worse off. The survey states that this age group represents the most strain and the highest mental health risk of any age group by a significant margin. The elder set of employees is handling their work far better than their younger counterparts, as evidenced by the fact that those under 40 are 50% more likely than those over 50 to feel mentally or physically weary at the conclusion of their workday. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Niti Sharma is the co-founder and president of Team Lee's EdTech, and she's now joining us live from Delhi. Niti, welcome to the show. This is a very sensitive subject even in the workplaces, but in your view, what can corporations do to help protect the mental health of their employees?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Like you indicated, the report said, right, that there are many youngsters who are actually feeling the anxiety more than people who have probably worked at a formal workplace for more than 20-25 years. I think we have to step back and understand why this is happening more in youngsters. The youngsters who are coming into the workplaces, I think their expectations are very different. They now require flexible working schedules, remote working, work from wherever, work from anywhere. And I think organizations now have to start becoming flexible to ensure that we encompass all sorts of employees rather than just have a standard policy that ensures that everyone has to walk into office at, let's say, 9 a.m. and be inside, a restricted workplace till about 5 or 6 in the evening. Right. I think giving flexible working time, duration, giving flexible working hours, remote working, And of course, there are many other ways as well that organizations can combat mental anxiety, stress amongst workers, not just youngsters, but maybe even people who've been around for a fairly long time. Apart from the flexible work arrangements, I would like to say that I think it's important to create mental health awareness amongst employees. In India specifically, I think we've shied away from talking about mental health being a problem. I think we've always seen it as a stigma. Once employers start talking about it, I think counseling sessions for employees who need help, hand-holding them, empathy by leaders, by managers. There's just so much that employers can actually do to help reduce the stress and anxiety. Apart from, of course, workplace policies, compensations, support, insurance, and many other such activities that employers can bring to the table.
Niti, apart from the creating awareness about mental health challenges in the workplaces, what systemic changes do you feel are needed to mitigate the mental health crises at workplaces, especially in India?
Yeah. So I think, like I said, I think a mental health awareness campaign to be conducted periodically at workplaces, having a counseling desk, and in all probability, this should be an external counselor talking to the employees, having inclusive policies at workplaces, creating a peer support group, and of course, keeping communication channels open across all levels. I mean, an employee who is on the field, who is struggling to make ends meet, has no choice but to rough it out. And then if at some point gets stressed and he wants to leave the job, I think managers, leaders, human resource support, all of them have to ensure that there are policies that have communication channels open, there are people who are being heard, feedback being taken and acted upon. And of course, apart from that, because most of the formal organizations in India now have health insurance, I think including mental health as part of the insurance would become a big fillip to ensuring that people come and speak about this problem. Because so far, I think we've all stayed away from saying, hey, I'm stressed, I'm not feeling good, I need help. So I think that I need help is very important, even as far as mental health is concerned. And employees need to feel that they're heard and that somebody is going to help them if there's a problem.
Niti Sharma is a co-founder and president of Team Lease EdTech, and she has been talking to us from Delhi. Niti, thank you very much for making time for us and for talking to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.